Animals that live in or around the planet's seas are seeing their lives affected at an increasingly rapid pace in the face of climate change. Some species are racing to cooler waters to live and spawn. Others are seeing the food they eat move to other regions. Still others are struggling to adapt to the conditions around them. The decline of some species, such as coral, has a knock-on effect, reducing the amount of fish that live among the coral as well as species that use reefs as a nursery. Even land-based mammals, such as polar bears, are feeling the effects because the retreat of sea ice makes it harder for them to hunt. On both sides of the Atlantic, various species of hake have aggressively moved north in recent years. In the western Atlantic, it's one of the species that have shifted the most. On the other side of the ocean, Basque fishermen in northern Spain routinely caught hake a generation ago. Today, there is no hake to be caught. In recent years, jellyfish explosions have interfered with power plants from Japan to Sweden. They have destroyed salmon farms in Ireland and caused untold misery to beach goers. Though not widely studied, the expansion of their range and their abundance are widely attributed to climate change. The bear's favorite hunting method is to stand over a hole in the ice. When a seal surfaces, the bear smacks it and drags it onto the ice to eat. But as polar ice has retreated, many bears are struggling to find enough food. Those living on the ice of the Beaufort Sea have seen their population drop by 40% in the last decade. Different populations of this species have developed a taste for a particular prey. Some like to eat seals, while others prefer fish. One of the North Pacific populations, which feeds on salmon, has been particularly hard hit by the decline in that species caused, in part, by warming waters. One of the oldest species on the planet is under threat from the warming seas and the loss of its nesting habitat, increasingly threatened by development. Researchers say the recent decline in the blue-blooded animal is similar to the decline seen after the last ice age. In just a few years at the beginning of this decade, almost all the starfish disappeared from many areas of the North American Pacific coastline. Recent research indicates that viruses contributed to the decline, as the wasting disease hit the starfish when they were already stressed by warming waters. The species may now be bouncing back. Coral reefs are under attack because of climate change. The warming waters stress the organism. Rising sea levels and changes in rainfall over land can cause sediment buildup. Increased carbon acidifies the water. But it's not just the reefs that suffer. Reefs are important nurseries, and the death casts a long shadow up the food chain. Few invasive species have spread as rapidly as the lionfish. Naturally found in the eastern Indian and western Pacific Oceans, it is now common in the Caribbean and as far north as North Carolina and Bermuda. It has no natural predators in the Atlantic, and warming nearshore waters have proven to be friendly to its larvae, allowing the species to expand north. One of the great winners of climate change, it has moved into waters all across the North Atlantic, replacing cod as the dominant species. The fish's range is limited by the North Atlantic's colder waters, but as that region has warmed, the species has moved in. In Iceland, where nations once fought for access to the cod fishing grounds, they now wrestle for access to mackerel. The threatened whales have found themselves colliding with ships as their migratory path has changed in response to shifts in ocean currents. In 2017, 17 of the whales died from collisions with ships and entanglements with fishing lines and ropes. Worse, there were no documented calf births in 2017.